Hello, guys. I'm very happy that I am with you today to discuss and show you my career and what I'm actually doing as a research scientist. My name is Hamza Ashraf, and I am from Egypt. I am working as a research scientist in a regenerative medicine lab. I'm very interesting to talk about my field today and telling you why I'm very and very interested in this field. Let me start by the problem that we have. So we have a very big problem. So what is it? Diseases. We have a lot of people we know that they have diseases such as heart disease, brain damage, injuries, cancer, Alzheimer. There is a lot of diseases we have now, and also we have, as recently we already know about this word, COVID-19. It's also one of the viruses that causes diseases and causes tissue loss or damage to the organs. Um, so, as we know, is most of these diseases uh, they causes damage to the tissue or the cells that's inside our organ, and that causes the organ failure. So, one of the ways to solve this problem is we using people, um, someone who has um, a kidney that he wants to donate it to people who have diseases, to able to replace those diseased uh, kidney or organ. So these people are called as donors. Donors help to um, to give or transplant the donated organ to someone else. But this solution it's not very practical now, and it doesn't solve this big problem because people are increasing in the waiting list, waiting for donors to give them uh, organs, and of course you cannot balance between the people who are donors and the people who get the donated organ. So here, starting from 1991 until it grows to 2015 and then 2020, it's still growing and growing, and find um, s- you cannot find a solution to that. So what is our big? We have a very big dream, and we want this dream to to reach it. So what is this dream is? To regenerate these damaged tissue or organ. So um, if someone got diseased or tissue damage, so why not we regenerate these cells? Of course, we are not. That's not the case with humans. Humans, they some organs they regenerated like bones. So if someone fall and they broke their leg, they can regenerate these bone and it gets healthy again. And I think most of us happen this to them. But some organs like brain, like heart, they cannot regenerate. They need something. They need an acid to make them to regenerate. So this is just an example of how we manage, how we imagined that could happen. So, for example, we have here this is actually a hand of a lizard, or and of course, I think you heard about the tail of the lizard. When you cut it, they can regenerate as something that never happened. So we imagined like imagine if this has happened to human as well, like if someone cut their whole hand or their whole eggs and they able to regenerate and they form another hand or another hair or another hand or another heart. So it could be amazing thing, and something that uh, will save a lot of people's life. So we start even also to imagine this in humans. And we thought about, okay, this is actually happening in humans as well, but in the earliest phase of human. So what we can see here, this is a fertilized egg, and this is that formed a zygote, and this zygote they form the blastocytes, and this blastocyte they form the fetus, and then it forms the baby. So how this small little cell they get into um, a huge human. I mean, and it's not actually a huge, but it's still a baby. But how from this small cell they form this a lot of cells, and these cells they form organs, and this forms the baby. So this is actually amazing thing. Like we thought about, okay, so what these type of cells call that causes this um, organs to form. So these type of cells that we find it in the baby, or we find it in the earliest phases of forming a baby, it's called as stem cells. So what is our stem cells? They are type of cells that you can find it in just as I told you in the earliest phases of the baby, that can form, that can actually differentiate into different type of organs, which can, some of them they can form the head, some of them they can form the legs and the lungs. So they have their own path to go through it, and then they form the organs that they want to do. So actually, it's amazing thing. Like if we thought about, okay, if we took the stem cells and we try to put it in someone else, like in someone has a brain damage, so these cells can actually differentiate into brain, or can they differentiate into brain cells, and this actually can help the persons to get healed. So that's what is my job is we are um, trying to get these cells and putting in someone that has a disease damage or has a tissue loss, so that they can regenerate their organs. So regenerative medicine, it's actually a branch of or a field of medicine that develops methods to regrow, repair, or replace damaged or diseased cells, organs, or tissue. It's a very, and it's one of the fastest growing biomedical industries in the world, because patients are being cured of diseases that were once incurable. So diseases such as Alzheimer, cancer, diabetes type 1 and type 2. So in regenerative medicine, we have three types of field. We have the cell therapy field, we have the tissue engineering, and we have the artificial organs field. Cell therapy field, it's actually the field that we have been talking about, which is taking the stem cells from some parts of the earliest stages of the fetus, or we take stem cells from some of the parts in your adult body, because there are still some stem cells are still present in our body when we get older, but they are not that effective, or they are not that active as the ones that we have in our earliest stages um, in the human body. So we take these type of adult stem cells from person, like for example from places like bone marrow, and we take the stem cells from the bone marrow, and then we try to expand it inside the lab in a specific media, so that they can grow and they can increase in number. And then we put these type of cells inside a specific media, so that they can differentiate to a specific tissue or organ as we want to be transplanted. So this type of field is called as cell therapy. Other type of field which called as tissue engineering, which is actually is taking a huge part in my current career. So what it's about is the same concept of taking stem cells or adult stem cells and expand it inside the lab, but we put the cells into a material called as a scaffold, which is equal to, or which looks like or similar to the extracellular matrix inside our body, because in our body we have cells, and these cells, they are inside a matrix, and we're trying to resemble this type of matrix in the lab by forming this type of scaffold, so that they act as a guide for the stem cells to differentiate into the specific organs or tissue. We have another field which is artificial and organ, which is a bit um, is taking a higher uh, part or position, which is forming a whole artificial organ. If you wanted to make it as a part of the field, so we have here the cell therapy. This is to get the cells. Here's to form tissues, and here's to form organs. So for to forming an organs, it's actually a very complex method. Complex process. It's not something that easy we can form ears or nose, but even also we're talking about other organs too, like heart and brain. We are still in the very earliest stages of forming these type of organs, but people or scientists, they are working towards to form an artificial organs that works exactly like the ones we have inside our body. So let me introduce to you the 3D bioprinting. This is a very exciting and very amazing machine that's coming now in the field. It's basically a form of additive manufacturing machine that uses the cells and the media that we want to form the tissue from. We put it over here, and then using the 3D by printer, you can print actually the organ or the tissue that you want in a specific structure and porosity through layers, as you can see here. And that's actually a very amazing thing, because you can form the structure that you want, that's very in a very specific form, and this is really can help us in the field um, to form the artificial organs that we want to do. Coming to the basis of this field, so it's very important to understand and to be also interested in the three main subjects, which are biology, chemistry, and physics. Biology is very important because it helps you to understand what is the human body and how it works out, how the disease comes, and how we can treat this type of diseases. Also, you need to understand the chemistry. So when you understand the chemistry of the material that you want to put the cells on it to form the tissue, it's also very important and a very necessary thing, so that you can direct your cells to the specific tissue that you want. Also, you need to understand about the physics of your material. So if it's very stiff, or if it's very soft, like your ears, for example, your ears is not very soft and it's not very hard. It's just elastic texture. It has a very elastic texture. So you need to be knowing these type of differences in the mechanical property of your material, or the media that you're gonna put the cells inside it. Regenerative medicine, it's still in its very earliest steps, and we need your help. We need your help to be as a scientist or as engineers to join this big group of people who are trying to finding solutions towards the problems that we have or the disease that we have, so we can elevate the suffering of the patients and their loved ones. So if you are interested about this field and you want to be part of it, um, as I told you, you need to understand the basis of biology and chemistry and physics. Take the time, uh, take take time when you are searching in the internet. Try to Google what is regenerative medicine is, and you will find a lot of pictures and videos regarding this interesting field. Also, if you got any questions, please do not hesitate at all to send me anytime through my email here. And also, if you want to contact me through Facebook, I have my page, and also I have my Instagram. I usually post a picture of my cells and some of the by printed t-shirt that we do it inside the lab. I like to share it here on Instagram. So if you are interested, please send me through any of these ways. So, thank you so much, and thank you for listening to me. And again, I hope you can and you are interested about this interesting field. Thank you.